We got a rivalry in the Sweet 16, a game that I don't think a lot of people ever predicted to happen, but we got Nebraska versus Iowa. This is honestly probably the one game on Thursday that I'm looking forward to the most because you have two teams, you have two fan bases that don't like each other one bit. This is going to be an absolute electric game. You have a Nebraska team that not only has won their first NCAA tournament game earlier this tournament, but they have a really good chance of going to the Elite Eight. Nebraska currently a 1.5 point favorite versus an Iowa team coming off probably the most impressive win in the NCAA tournament so far, knocking off the defending national champions, Florida Gators. This is a matchup that is going to be awesome. This is a matchup that both teams have split throughout the season. Last matchup end up going into overtime, and I fully expect this one to be even better than that one. Just the atmosphere, the fans, just the whole kind of what this can mean, because this truly can change kind of the direction of either of these teams. And I think they've already kind of changed that direction, but like getting to an Elite Eight in this situation would be absolutely massive for Nebraska, would be absolutely massive for Iowa as well. Iowa hasn't been to a Sweet 16 in a really long time. This is a first experience for Nebraska, and you have both of these teams playing very, very well right now. You have a Nebraska team that has a ton of confidence. Rick Mask has been absolutely spectacular. You have Price Sanford that's hitting shots over and over and over. This Nebraska team is shooting extremely well from the field. They're very physical defense. They cause issues for the other teams. And this is a Nebraska team coming off of an absolute crazy win, right? They're coming off of a win that maybe they necessarily shouldn't have had. A lot of people thought that shot was going in, but even coming off that win, like I'm saying, they're playing very good basketball right now. You also have to mention Braden Frager, right, as well. 15 points in his last game, hit the game-winning shot as well, layup at the end that gave Nebraska the 2-point lead. You have a lot to really rely on. You have a lot to go into it, and I'm really, really excited to see what Nebraska does in this game because you have all the momentum. You have the heartbreak of Vandy. You have really that ever emotion feeling game last game going into this rivalry, which is exactly what you want. You have an Iowa team, like I said, coming off of probably one of the best, if not the best win in the NCAA tournament, which was a game where, if we want to be completely honest with each other, right, Iowa punked Florida, especially in that first half. Iowa was the more physical team, and that wasn't even with a good performance from Bennett Sturts. Like, if you look at what Bennett Sturts did in this game, he had 13 points. Only 13 points. Tavion Banks was an absolute massive part of what they were doing against Florida. You obviously have to also mention the guy that made the game-winning shot, Bulgaris, that basically said after the game that he basically told Bennett to get him the ball because he was going to make the shot anyways. Like, you have so much confidence coming in from Iowa. You have so much confidence coming in from Nebraska. These are two teams that are really close to each other with a game on the line in the Elite Eight. Like, this is exactly what you want from March Madness. You got two teams that hate each other, like I said at the beginning. You have two teams with playmakers that are playing very well, Bennett Sturts, Tavion Banks. You also have role players that are hitting shots on both teams. You have Bryce Sanford. You have Rank Mask. You have Sam Hoiberg. You have two coaches that in my opinion, are really good coaches. Ben McCallum has shown that he can win wherever he goes. And I know a lot of his thoughts. I know a lot of people's thoughts on him specifically, especially early on when the first game in the Big Ten tournament for Iowa was an absolute domination by Michigan State. He's really gotten this team playing well. And then you have to look on the other side of it as well. Hoiberg, he, in my opinion, he's one of the best young coaches in college basketball. He has Nebraska at a point where no one thought Nebraska would ever get to. And that's because of really just his ability to build a roster, his ability to really make a defense that causes a ton of team's issues. And this is a team in Iowa that's seen this defense quite a bit. This is a team that's very familiar with each other. And I think that's what makes this the most intriguing matchup of all is that you have two teams that know each other so well. You have two teams that are very physical. You have two teams that are playing very well right now, and you have two teams that will do absolutely anything to get to an Elite Eight. And we're going to be able to say either Nebraska or Iowa is going to be an Elite Eight, which I don't think anyone headed into this tournament. Maybe Nebraska thought that they would get to that point, but this is an absolutely incredible game. This is a game I'm really excited about. I think it's going to be about which team can hit shots. I think both teams have hit shots pretty well overall. I think Nebraska is a little bit hotter than Iowa. I also think Bennett Surge, like I specifically mentioned, isn't coming off the greatest performance. I think he's going to be much better in this game against Nebraska, but you also have a Nebraska team with ranked mass that is hitting on all cylinders offensively, coming off of a really emotional win. So let's see how both these teams handle it. Will Nebraska come off of the emotional win and be ready to go? Will they be way too high? Will they be way too low? Don't necessarily know. Obviously, haven't been in a spot, but then you also have Iowa coming off of a dramatic high as well, being the number one seed in Florida in the region. So a lot of fun things ahead. I'll obviously talk about this game after it happens, but just really, really excited. I think both of these teams are going to absolutely play really well. And if you're a Nebraska fan, if you're an Iowa fan, I absolutely can see why you're confident. It's a 1.5-point spread for a reason. This is going to be a good game. This is going to be a close game. This is going to be a competitive game. And this is going to be a game with two teams that don't like each other, which is exactly what you want in this situation. Absolutely love it. You got Nebraska, you got Iowa. Can't wait for this game. Going to be one of the best, in my opinion, in the Sweet 16. Thanks for tuning in. If this is something that you like, feel free to like, subscribe, comment. Please share the video as well to any Nebraska fans, any Iowa fans. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And thanks for tuning in, and tune in to the next episode.